by and large, the public water systems in Washington do an excellent job. I think they would score very high, you know, as you see across the country. And one of the benefits of that is in Washington State is we're blessed with some very good, you know, we start with a good source to begin with. You have a lot of protected groundwater sources. The cities that use river supplies like Tacoma does, a lot of them are from protected watersheds. And so, you know, the state of Washington is blessed with a number of very good sources. The Safe Drinking Water Act. And that established federal standards for drinking water across the country. And an Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, is the agency that is responsible for administering drinking water requirements. And in a number of states, EPA partners with the state, and that's the case in Washington State. The Washington State Department of Health is the agency that has primacy for handling regulatory compliance for drinking water systems in Washington State. And what the requirements are is the state requirements have to be at least as stringent as the federal requirements. And so a number of the standards, the State Department of Health just adopts the exact same ones as the federal one. And in some cases, the state has you know, established some of their own requirements. Not typically on the contaminant levels, but they have you know, additional requirements for water system planning, and they actually regulate water systems down to a smaller size than the federal government does. So on the contaminants, there's actually different types of contaminants that they're kind of broken into. And the main groups are there's microbiological contaminants, and those are things like bacterias and viruses, organisms in the water. There's inorganic chemicals, or IOCs, and I always tell people think of those as they're like sort of minerals in the water. Okay. They're things like, you know, calcium and, you know, magnesium and you know,
the
sort
sheets I just handed you are a listing of the primary ones of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have the microorganisms, you have the inorganic chemicals, you have organic chemicals, and typically organic chemicals are I want to say they're all man-made, but they're generally, you have volatile organic chemicals, which are, you know, like gasoline type compounds, you know, benzene, toluene, stuff like that. And then you have synthetic organic chemicals, which are typically like pesticides, herbicides, and those types of things. Radionuclides is another type of one, and those are typically, it's like radon and
radium
are a couple ones, and those are ones that are in essence the water, you know, typically it's groundwater would naturally absorb in, you know, from the aquifer, from the
rock
rocks
formations and such would pass through.
So the North Fork well field is it's a series of 7 wells that the Tacoma Water has in the Green River watershed, and that water has historically been used to blend with the river water if the river is too turbid.
Okay.
Even after we build filtration, we'll continue to use the North Fork wells in order to reduce turbidity that the treatment plant will have to deal with. And this is inside the ozone generator, is like a honeycomb. These tanks here is the fluorosilicic acid, which is the fluoride that we add to the water for dental health. So these tanks here are actually going to be relocated to one of the new facilities where the screw press is, and that's going to free up some room in this building for some of the other coagulant chemicals that will get used here for filtration.
Okay.